Oh shit! Bottom of the bottle, episode 6, baby.
We back again?
We back again.
Ooh.
And we got a in-house guest today.
Oh.
Fucking kind of a Portland legend.
Live in person? Portland legend,
yeah, dude. Fucking Tony Tataje from American Me.
Oh shit.
Dude, that dude's I'm excited to get him in and talk to him. It's gonna be a good one. He's an old school guy.
Yep.
And he came up when shit was way different, and they're recently getting back in the game, so excuse me.
Ooh. I remember being in high school listening to their album 3.
Dude, yeah,
I was
exactly.
stoked about it.
Yeah, and just, man, I'm sure he's got a bunch of things to say and stories to tell, and just how things are different from then to now.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing about that. But real quick, shameless plug of the week. If your band or brand is fitting to look fresh, you need those new merch designs, you need some cover art and layout for your new release, all that good shit. You want to shoot some promos and make a music video? I'm your fucking guy. Go to KendallJohns.com. That's KendallJohns.com, and hit me up to start a project, and you can see all my work there. And mention this podcast. I'll probably cut you a deal, if you know what I'm saying.
It's a good deal. I'm going to take him up on that.
Yeah. And then also, besides that, need to give a shout out to my boy Nico and his company Alive and Free. They are a Pacific Northwest lifestyle clothing brand, and I'm going to be working with them soon on some cool stuff that I'm excited about. You'll probably be hearing more about that in the future, but just mad shout out to them. Go check them out. I think they're aliveandfreeco.com. I believe that's a thing, and I think they usually have some sales going, so go check it out, pick some stuff up, and support that shit, because Nico's the kind of guy that went from nothing and has built this huge fucking thing. Alive and Free is just killing it right now, and it's so cool to see. But so jumping into this week, Blake, you got any opening thoughts?
I don't know. I'm feeling good. Life is good. Things are going smooth. I'm excited to be back again doing this. I get excited when we get together and do this.
It's fun,
Get to talk in the microphone and bullshit for a little while.
Yeah. And real quick, wherever you guys are at, stop and go hit that subscribe button, that follow button. Leave us a rating and review. If you can, go retweet us on Twitter. We are at BOTB Show. Share us on Facebook. We are at BOTB Podcast. Share this podcast. Leave comments. We want to hear you guys' feedback and reviews. And if you want to get at us, you know where to get at us at.
Slide into our DMs.
Yeah.
Let us know. Talk to us. Engage.
And if you want to do email and kick it old school, we could even do that too at bottomofthebottlepdx@gmail.com.
Bottom of the bottle.
But yeah, all your guys' ratings, reviews, you subscribing and all that stuff, it helps us out a lot. If you've been listening to the show, thank you guys so much for supporting Bottom of the Bottle. We really appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
All right.
It means the world.
Yeah, I think it's time to dive in to this episode. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Well, then let's do it.
You wanna say it?
I'll say it. You ready?
Yeah.
Roll the fucking music.
We decided that it was time to bring you the hard and the heavy. Kendall Johns from Dead Crown.
To be honest, we're on a podcast, like we're shooting real shit. Yeah, go follow that motherfucker.
Now, you've been on my radar for a while.
Yeah.
There you go. I love you.
There's a quote.
I don't want to talk shit, but step it up a little bit.
Oh, shit. You know what it is. It's time to take some shouts.
Taking shots?
Yeah. What do we got this week, dog?
Well, first thing, what do you think of when I say,
fucking Disturbed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, they had to cancel a show.
Why? Did his pussy ticklers come out?
No, his doctor recommended it because of a vocal issue.
Oh.
Yeah. So he had to rest for a day. They had to cancel just one show, but still, having to cancel for vocal issues, is that something that you've had to deal with?
Me, no, because I just scream. If I had to sing or something, and I'm also not disturbed, so I'm not on that hectic tour life, you know?
Well, you are Disturbed, but you're just not in the band.
I'm so wicked, bro. But no, that sucks. You know, and like they actually have like thousands of fucking fans, so, you know, there's probably that feeling that they have of they're letting people down and shit like that, so that sucks. But is there anything like what the vocal issue was?
They didn't say. Basically, all it said was the doctor recommended that he rest and limit his vocal usage to avoid any further damage.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that
probably,
sucks.
Probably like burnt out or something.
I have no idea.
I mean, how many nights can you go ooh wah ah ah?
Exactly.
Before you're like, oh man, I'm tired.
Yeah. That probably takes one hell of a strain. Ooh ah ah ah, in like every fucking night.
It's a classic line though.
It is
It'll
classic.
live forever.
And you know they have to play it like 3 times every show.
Oh fuck yeah. Minimum.
Minimum 3 times. It's their 3-part encore.
Yeah, goddamn it. Otherwise, I want a refund.
Exactly. Fucking hell. But yeah, I hope that dude makes recovery.
Hopefully, I'm sure he already has.
Yeah, gets his ass back out on the road.
And yeah, he's in Disturbed, so
Yeah, they're still
Anyways.
making money.
oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So you like NASCAR?
I mean, I'm down with it. I'll sit down with like
You like
people.
NASCAR making a left turn?
Yeah, I'll sit down and watch it, but I don't like actively follow it or anything.
Fair enough. Well, they now have a driver that's racing a car that's Megadeth themed.
What?
Yeah, straight up. It's the guy's name. Where is it here? Anyways, it's driver number 2.
Okay.
'Cause that's his number, and he's decked out his whole Chevy Camaro in the Megadeth. Like the logo's right on the hood. It actually looks really fucking badass. There's this like promotional video for it.
Uh-huh.
And they're making like little Hot Wheels for it.
Okay. Well, so with those Avoid kids, Benny and all them, they fucking love NASCAR. Like
Yeah.
it's not just a gimmick. Benny fucking loves that shit. So, one thing about that, from what I've learned from them, is that usually means that Megadeth the band is probably sponsoring that car.
More than likely, I'd imagine.
Yeah, so they're giving that car a fuck ton of money and that team a fuck ton of money to deck it out. And I think back in the day, I think Nickelback's had a car. There's been a couple bands that have done NASCAR, have sponsored NASCAR drivers and
Yeah.
have done that.
Damn,
So-
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so, I mean, fuck. If I had the money, I'd do a Dead Crown car.
Dude,
That'd be sick.
there's an idea right there.
Oh, man, that's probably so much fucking money, though.
Probably.
Probably like hundreds of thousands.
Well, yeah, because not only would you have to like, if you did a Dead Crown car, you'd have to have the car, the team, driver.
Well, essentially, you're just giving the team money. And so they do with it what they want. But, yeah, I can't imagine it's cheap to sponsor a car.
No.
It's probably a lot of fucking money to do that. Because everything to run everything is expensive. Those cars are so much money. Even just the wheels, the tires they use.
Yeah, and
That they go through numerous pairs
Yeah.
are like so much money.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like I think each tire is like a couple grand a piece. And they run through how many fucking things of those every race?
Oh God.
Yeah, so
At least
like
3 pairs.
Yeah, even just those costs. And then paying everyone's salary.
Yeah.
Like fuck.
That's not
That's a
cheap.
spendy sport to get in.
Yeah. Dude, and then I saw a video of this dude. He was in the pit crew, and this car was coming in, and he was going too fast and just straight up ran the dude over.
Oh fuck.
Like, it was crazy. He went like flying up in the air, but then he still managed to get up and change the fucking tire. It's like, what the fuck?
Dude, that's dedication right there.
Right?
Yeah. That dude, oh man, I hope he gets a fat bonus.
Oh, fuck yeah.
His Christmas bonus better be fucking lit. That guy better be getting a pool in his backyard.
Fuck yeah. Sorry for running you over. Here's your bonus.
Yeah, here you go. Don't sue us. Fucking hell. But yeah, what do you got for me next, dog?
All right. What are the 2 party essentials?
The 2 party essentials?
Yeah.
Booze and Coke.
I mean,
If you're really trying to party.
well, you're close. You got one right.
Booze.
Yeah.
Well, weed. Yeah, if you smoke weed.
No.
What is
4
it?
Locos and a fleshlight.
Oh, shit. It's that kind of party.
Oh yeah. Now imagine this.
Okay.
You got your 4 Loco and your fleshlight. What's the one thing that would make that better?
I don't know.
You combine it.
Whoa.
Fleshlight and 4 Loco now have sex in a can. It's literally a fleshlight with a 4 Loco can design.
Holy shit. Where do I buy it?
From the fucking internet.
On Four Loco's website, or is it like
Fleshlight's website?
Oh, they did a collab with Four Loco.
Yep.
That's insane.
And guess how much it costs?
How much?
$69.
Oh, those
Nice.
dogs. Hell yeah. Dude, that's sick.
Can you imagine, though, you're like at a party with your Four Loco can, and all of a sudden you just stick your dick in it, and you're just like fucking a Four Loco can?
Yeah, you're just like, people are like, oh, nice Four Loco. And it's like, yeah. And then you're like, I'm a little horny. I'm going to go to the bathroom and fuck my Four Loco can. Or they walk into the bathroom and someone's fucking their Four Loco can. You're like, what? What are you doing, dude? And it's like, oh, dude, it's just a fleshlight. It's just my Four Loco.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
It's
it.
no big deal.
You want to hit it too?
Oksana.
Oksana.
God damn.
Fucking hell. But that's sick. My boy Billy. I think he has a fleshlight collection, and I hope he gets that one. He should.
A fleshlight collection?
Yeah, he has one that like mounts on a shower and stuff, and you can fuck it in the shower and
What?
yeah.
Oh.
I'm probably gonna have him on the show soon, so
God.
I'll have him explain
We're
his.
gonna have to dive into this. I need
Yeah.
to know what's doing.
But yeah, I think he's got fleshlights and all that shit, and yeah, every time I talk to him, I ask him how it's going, and he's just got his fleshlights and he's doing his fucking thing.
Just strapped with the light.
Yeah, just putting his dick into the fucking the shower mounted fucking thing and going to town.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But yeah, and he told me, he's like, it's a little weird getting used to it, like fucking it in the shower.
Yeah,
You know?
dude.
So you got to just put it in. And you actually got to like do the work. And,
You're like up against the wall, just like
yeah,
your arms are out.
but it's sick. You could just mount that fucker there and just hands free,
Yeah.
fuck your fleshlight.
Yeah, you got a point there. You rub that body wash while you're fucking the fleshlight.
Getting clean while getting dirty.
Oh.
Yeah,
All right. Maybe it's not such a dumb idea after
it's
all.
not, dude. I want to get one.
Why don't you?
I don't know.
You buy me one too then.
All right, maybe if this shit pops off this year for Christmas, I'll get the Office, aka me and you, fleshlights.
Yeah.
Shower mounted fleshlights.
Oh man, Christmas party's gonna be fucking lit.
Don't fuck my fleshlight. Get your own.
Holy fuck.
All right, what's next?
Man, that's pretty much it. One other thing about going back to the Megadeth thing though.
Yeah.
They're writing a new album despite Dave Mustaine's cancer diagnosis.
Wait, hold on. Okay, back it up. Mustaine has cancer?
Yeah, dude, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah, he got diagnosed with cancer.
What kind of cancer?
I can't remember. I'd have to look it up, but he's got cancer of some kind. He posted a whole video about it. It was like a huge thing, like maybe a month or two ago.
Oh shit, that flew past my radar.
I guess so. But yeah,
damn.
But they're still working on a new album, even though he's got cancer.
Well, one thing I will say with Dave Mustaine, that dude was the biggest fucking. He's like Ozzy in the sense that he should be dead right now.
Yeah?
Like an average night for them back in their heyday, they would do. I can't remember what they called it. I think it was called like speedballs, but it's where you get a bag of heroin and a bag of blow. You rail the blow and do a bunch of it, but they would get mass quantities. So you get a super high from the blow, and then to come down, you rail the heroin.
Oh.
And then you go back and forth all night.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. And that was a normal thing for them.
God damn.
Like when they were writing their records and touring and stuff, they would just do speedballs all the time. And then eventually, Mustaine and a bunch of other members, they got members that like have died from just that shit. But that's what I mean. Mustaine has worked through basically, yeah, he's been dead before.
Has he?
Yeah, he overdosed, and I'm pretty sure he was like clinically dead for a little bit.
God damn.
But yeah, dude, he's one of those guys that like nothing's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anyone could write an album while on cancer, it's that motherfucker.
God damn. The 80s, what a time to be alive.
Dude, I know.
Just
And they were
fucking-
and with Mustaine, that's the cool thing about watching Megadeth documentaries is that dude was just bitter for so long.
Yeah.
And there was a reason why he was just obsessively doing so much drugs and doing hardcore shit because imagine you're in Metallica, you get kicked out, and then they become the biggest fucking band in the world, and you're sitting there saying that should be me.
Yeah. Well, I watched a documentary about it where when he got kicked out of Metallica, the whole reason he created Megadeth was to be better than Metallica.
Exactly. Yeah, so
And
Megadeth was almost just like a spite band.
Yeah.
Just like, fuck Metallica, we're going to do this. But then they partied harder. They were like the trailer park of metal bands. Dude, like
super ghetto.
Yeah, and just like you know, I think he mentioned like how much a night they would spend on drugs and stuff, and it was like, dude, it's a lot.
Fuck.
And that's where all their money went for a while.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying. The 80s, what a time to be alive.
Oh yeah, you were definitely alive. Definitely alive.
Yeah, you were alive until all of a sudden you weren't.
Yeah, and then you're waking up in a hospital with a fucking adrenaline needle sticking out your chest and going, what the fuck?
Damn.
Get me the fuck out of here.
Take me back to the hotel.
And then you Nicky Six it, check yourself out, and then go shoot up again. And
God damn.
That shit's crazy. But is that it for taking shouts?
Bro, that's all I got this time.
All right, well, fuck yeah. Episode 6, Tony Tataje from American Me. Let's fucking do this shit, man.
Let's go.
All right, we're going to get Tony up in here. And, here we go.
Here we go.
Yo, Tony, what's good, dog?
What up?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, always. How does it feel being back in the old Bongo Fury?
Oh, it's a big nostalgia hit. When I first pulled in, I thought of all the crazy times that spent here. I mean, it was over a decade ago, but...
Didn't you, like, put on a show here one time?
Oh, yes.
Way back in the day?
Yes.
And how'd that go?
It was epic. It was with Attila, Chelsea Grin.
What?
Dr. Acula, American Me.
Just in the loading dock over there.
Yes. Not over here, but yes, down over here. It was
Yeah.
like it was like a garage. It was like it's like the warehouse where they might store some things, but it technically didn't belong to Bongo, and so it was like this weird thing because I tried to do another show again afterwards, and it actually got shut down because the owners weren't stoked at all. But I ended up getting like permission from the guy that ran Bongo. But anyways, for people who don't know what Bongo is is it's a practice rehearsal studio complex here in Beaverton, and a lot of bands have started here, and like we've started here and whatnot. So
we're in Dead Crown's room right now, and we have a big interface out here, so that's why we're doing the episode out here. We normally do it in my garage, but
gotcha.
Yeah, it might be switching up locations soon too. But so I guess to kick this off, you guys, American Me, have been slowly kind of putting out music again. You took a break for a while, and that's cool. But how does it feel actually playing music on stage again after being on break for so long? You know,
it's rejuvenating. It feels great. Hence we brought it back, and what's really cool about it is that now that we're back with it, we're around the bend with the band, as in meaning that we are mature, we've grown with experience. Life has also took us in a way that we look at things differently. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I mean, it's almost like a new band. I mean, it's a rejuvenating, refreshing feeling. And it feels great. It feels great to be playing in a band with some great dudes, old friends, and then meeting up with other bands, playing shows with other bands that we've been playing with for over the years, and then meeting new bands of this new generation, like you guys. And then it's cool to see like the local bands that we watch grow up, like Brighton and the guys from your band.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Portland's a small place, so
it's
really cool to see it, I guess, flourish is the word.
Dude, yeah, fuck yeah. But so I know you, but I don't know your whole story. We kind of met like just a couple years ago, right? So we really started knowing each other and shit.
Yeah, I would say we were acquainted. Maybe.
Yeah, we were acquainted,
right? Just from like shows and stuff. But
but I wasn't in Portland when American Me was like popping and you were getting into everything. So I guess this question is like, how did all this start? Like, how'd you get into hardcore? What's the fucking history? What's the journey, of American Me and of Tony?
Yeah, man. I mean, well, first, me, I got into this mix back when I was living in California, like when I was still in high school.
Yeah.
Was invited out to some shows in Northern California by a good friend of mine named Doug Weber, who actually founded First Blood. He played in Terror in the beginning years, but I know him as this guy who played in this local band called Execution Style that were based out of Vacaville, San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, okay, word.
And so he took me to my first hardcore show, which was like Nerve Agents, Powerhouse, a bunch of these hardcore bands, punk bands playing in San Francisco. Then I kind of got exposed to the culture. Then just started going to more local shows around the area.
How old were you at that time?
I was like 15.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he was like the cool older dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, he like moved up here like some years later when I was an adult, and I saw him around. But anyways, awesome dude. That's how I ended up getting introduced to, I guess, the scene culture of hardcore music and overall underground music.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. We all have phones. American Me-wise.
Well, then you came to Portland eventually, right?
I did. I moved to Portland to finish high school here, and that's where I met Brian Wilson, a.k.a. Brian Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Met him in high school.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And so we ended up sharing a same common interest, which was really heavy music.
Yeah, yeah.
And smoking weed.
Of course, dude.
So we would cut school, go to my house, listen to Hatebreed and Slipknot, and
fuck yeah,
smoke a bunch of weed.
as young kids do.
Yeah, I mean, it was a blast. And then I look back on it now, it was times like that formed who we are today. And
yeah.
It's building, it was the beginning stages of this camaraderie of two young knuckleheads who really, really loved music.
Yeah.
And really loved smoking weed and really loved hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
And it was so funny too, because he's like 6'5".
Yeah, Blade's
like
huge.
Yeah, and I'm like 5'6", so we're like, it's like that movie with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I forgot what that movie's called.
Oh my gosh.
It's a complete different contrast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we've always had this. We would cut school, and then we would just like listen to music and kind of just like air guitar and scream silently, under our breath, and we would just rock out to all of our favorite bands. And sure enough, fast forward some years later, 10 years later, we get to play with shows. We get to play these shows with some of these bands that we looked up to back then. It's fun, and we're very fortunate to be in that position where we could just be able to make something that we really wanted and make it happen.
Yeah.
We just did it out of our ass.
Yeah,
literally.
yeah.
Like we had no help, no nothing. It was just we just gonna start playing shows and see where it takes us, and then the next chapter, getting signed and all that, is a whole nother thing.
Well, yeah. So then from there, so Rise, you guys were on Rise for years.
Yeah, we were on Rise for a long time. We were one of the first bands.
So how did that happen?
Well, we started another band first. It Prevails.
Yeah, we just had Ian on, and he talked about that. Starting It Prevails with Tony Tataje.
Yeah, over at the old box in Lair Hill.
The box, yep, Lair Hill. Yeah, we talked all about that with Ian. Yeah,
that's where a lot of the highlight pinnacle moments of both It Prevails and American Me
started.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And it was just a group of guys getting together and kind of doing what me and Brian were doing, just rocking out and enjoying music and hanging out and going to shows, supporting other bands, local bands' music. And but anyways, how we started American Me was just me and Brian Blade were like watching the movie American Me on Comcast on demand. And then it was like, I looked over at him like, dude, what if we like started a band that was as brutal as this movie? He's like, yeah, dude, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So we ended up jamming out a few riffs in his old mom's basement and started from there. We ended up like getting people from It Prevails to see if they wanted to jam, since nobody was playing shows, nobody was doing anything. We were just chilling, so we wanted like a heavier project. That's pretty much what it was. So,
and then you formed, started playing shows.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Rise just came knocking? Or?
No, well, It Prevails got signed first, and then while we were on the road, we were like handing out American Me demos. Like it was It Prevails tour, and handing out demos. It started catching on. Like people were like, oh man, like this melodic hardcore band is has another band, and they're crazy brutal, So we ended up sending it to Craig Erickson, the owner of Rise at the time, and he's like, what a great formula. Let's bring you guys on board too, and let's have a brother band type of deal.
Yeah.
And so we did, and then we started doing some like tours and stuff together. But then scheduling confliction happened where it was like one band had to go on tour, the other band, it was pretty much the same band. Yeah. So we couldn't tour at the same time, so we had to like go separate ways. Yeah. In a good way, though. It wasn't like bad where we separated. It was more like, all right, so how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
We knew it was going to happen one day.
Yeah. So you guys, start doing that. And when did Heat come into play?
He came into play.
Was that the second?
No, Heat's the first album.
First album.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So we came out with this demo that we funded ourselves and recorded with Chris Crummett. Yeah. And that was the one that we're handing out on the It Prevails tours. And so we took that 3-song demo, then we applied it onto, made some more songs, applied it to Heat. So those songs were included with Heat. Mm-hmm. And then, Scott Walker, our drummer during Heat, everything kind of formed when he joined the band. And, honestly, he brought this metallic death metal element to this punk hardcore band, and so it really made us stand out for that album because he was such a beast, such a force to reckon with that he, time and time again, I hear it from people, just the drums on that record are just phenomenal, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no, Scott's really fucking good. He's probably one of the best in our region.
Yeah. Probably in this genre, I feel like. Now he's playing in this...
in Vitriol.
In Vitriol.
And they're fucking crazy.
And they're crazy, too. They got signed to Century Media. Yeah, I'm very happy for him that he's able to utilize his skills and be able to be a total badass.
Dude, yeah.
And the cool thing is, like, I know Scott's such an old homie, such a good dude. Mm-hmm. If something was ever happen, I'd always just call him up. Yo, Scott, we need you for a second. If Duncan breaks his hand. He did last time.
Yeah, like last time.
So, but yeah, that was that.
Fuck yeah. So, but I wanted to ask about Heat because Heat's one of the albums that, in my travels and everything, when I tell people I'm from Portland, they go, oh, do you know American Me? And I'm like, yeah, I know those guys. I'm like, dude, Heat was like such an influential hardcore record that like really got me into shit and stuff. Like,
I've heard that. I've heard that a few times. Yeah, and it's flattering, and it's flattering, but also makes me feel really old.
Yeah,
and so, especially when we did this Acacia Strain tour, like 4 or 5 years ago. There's people coming up to us like, I haven't seen you guys since I was 16, 17 years old. I'm like 50 now. No. But they're a lot older and my age now. They're like, just thanks for putting that album out, and here we are to support you guys X amount of years later. Mm-hmm. Very grateful for that. Very grateful for people sticking around. I'm very grateful for the internet, making us still relevant. But yeah.
So with Heat, when you guys were writing and stuff and back in that time, did you think or know, or was it intentional that you were making something that, is going to kind of transpire into like kind of a legacy of the band? Heat is, the fucking album.
Not a damn clue.
You just were doing your fucking thing.
I was just a pissed off 20-year-old.
Yeah.
And just letting out some teenage angst.
Yeah.
And to look back on it, to capture that tone, that sound, I can't create that sound anymore as much as I want to or try. It's hard to emulate. To really dig deep into being that young guy who's like full of emotion and passion. But that's one of the reasons that we have these, like, we're in these like building blocks of life. We ended up just it's all part of experience. Without that album, the band wouldn't be who it is today because of that album, you know?
Yeah.
Every album is like a layer of muscle on the skeleton that we have.
Yeah.
And
so going from there, you know, like you guys put out Heat on Rise. I'm assuming that's when you guys started touring a lot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we had to. And we put out an album and the label expects you to tour. Yeah, we toured a bunch, and then we did a lot of awesome tours. I mean, bands. I wrestled a bear once, Straight from the Path.
Didn't you take Attila and Chelsea Grin out on some of their first tours?
Yeah, we took Attila, Chelsea Grin out in their first tours. It's such a trip to see where it's at now, and but I'm also grateful for the whole journey that this tenure has brought us, because I mean I can't think of any other way that you can capture these awesome moments with some of the best people that you know in a situation like being in a band where you can just travel, go see different places, meet new people, and just express yourself in a creative fashion that this is who you are. And, you know, you're putting yourself out there. So I give it up for a lot of bands that are local or just trying to tour to they're putting themselves on a platform to be judged and critiqued, but you know what, they're doing it. And that's one thing I see you guys doing all the time is putting yourself out there, and I respect that about Dead Crown.
Hell yeah, thanks, dog.
See the progression from where you guys were before. It's super awesome,
dude. Fuck yeah, thank you, man.
So, what's up, Blake?
How you doing?
Good,
man. So you put out Heat, start touring a bunch, you start getting a name, start doing all that. What's the next album that comes out? What's next in the journey from there?
So we put out Heat, did some tours off that. Then we started writing Siberian Nightmare Machine.
Yeah. Which this year it's 10 years old to this year, right?
This year it's 10 years old. That's right.
Happy 10th birthday.
All right.
To that boy. Yeah.
That was a cool album to write and record. Yeah. It was very different. We were on this new metal kick in which we were just incorporating a lot of our like hardcore punk influence into some of these new metal bands that me and Brian were listening to. And then we made that album. And so it was super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun. We got to record that song Kitchen Party Squad, in which KPS became its own thing.
Yeah. So time out real quick.
Okay.
We need to talk about KPS. So for those of you who don't know, KPS, that's Kitchen Party Squad.
Whoop, whoop.
I've been, I guess, inducted into it.
He's been in yep.
Yeah, but I don't have my tattoo yet, and I have to get my tattoo to make it official. But KPS, that was a thing back then. That was a huge thing.
It was.
So what the fuck was KPS?
Yeah, Killing Pigeon Since. That's what it stood for. It was created back in the MySpace days.
Yeah.
And we would put the year that we were born, like I was 84, so it was like Tony, KPS 84, and it stood for Killing Pigeons Since. And Killing Pigeons was like, oh my God.
what was Killing Pigeons?
Pigeons means like, do you remember the song No Scrubs by TLC?
Oh, I think so, but
okay.
I would have to be refreshed.
Okay, so it's about like dudes who are like scrubs, you know, like just whatever, leeches or
fuck boys.
Fuck boys. Yeah, sure. Exactly. So there was this other group that made a parody song of that song called Pigeons, and it was like no pigeons, like so, and it was about like girls that were like, you know, money hungry, leeching onto the dudes, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? And so we, I don't know how we started, but it was like Killing Pigeons Since. So we were just it was kind of douchey, honestly, but you know what? We didn't. We had no idea. We weren't thinking about it in that sense. We were just thinking of it as in like, we want to start something with an acronym of KPS. Let's think of something so we can have like a little like pseudo gang type of deal, you know. But it really was just all in good fun. And then the Killing Pigeons Since thing ended up fading away, and it was like, let's have something a little bit more funnier. So one of us, I forgot who it was, started kitchen party squad.
Yeah.
Because we ended up always kicking it in the kitchen.
Oh, dude, every house party, that's where it migrates to.
Yeah.
All the realists hang out in the kitchen.
Isn't it
dude.
really, dude?
Yeah, dude.
I feel like
Always.
it applies not just to us, but just to everybody.
Dude, whenever we would have our huge house parties and stuff, I would always find myself in the kitchen. Because I don't know why.
That's where
This is the
I mean,
hangout
that's
spot.
you need a drink, you need to eat.
Yeah.
Where would you go? You can hang out in the fucking hallway.
Yeah, you spill something, it's an easy cleanup.
Yeah.
You know, everything's hardwood surface.
Well, it's like centered. A kitchen's like a little centered focal point of where most people congregate, you know?
Yeah, hell yeah. So with Kitchen Party Squad, yeah, like you said, I know there's a bunch of people in Portland who rep the KPS, and I know you got some stories.
Oh, fuck.
You don't have to say any that will get you in trouble, but you know, I heard from people that were around back then that it was a wild time. KPS was like it was the thing.
Yeah, man, we had some.
You guys were the wrecking crew,
especially like during like the apartment days when what Ian was referring to, Lair Hill days.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about just carelessly drinking boxes of Franzia, whatever, and then beer bonging bottles of liquor.
Oh man.
Drunk moshing in the tiniest apartment possible in all of Portland.
Jesus.
I think we even sobered mosh too, where we were just so hyped on like. I remember when we were jamming this Beloved album that kind of came out, and we were super stoked on it. And then I remember Ian was always bringing the newest and latest and coolest shit that he was listening to, and we would rock it, like the new Hopesful album, Types just came out.
Yeah.
He was super stoked on that, so we would just like, it was like drunken moshing with sober moshing with just like passionate sing-alongs in the apartment.
It was emo night before emo night was a fucking thing.
Yes, dude, it was. It was totally emo night, and but it was like out of our own little like boombox stereo that I had.
Yeah.
Little boombox stereo that had like a Primer 55 sticker on it.
God damn.
Some old school new metal band.
That's sick.
But we would but yeah, that's a good time for us at that time.
Yeah.
Was just listening to all of, man, the thing about it now, the most simplest times were the most funnest times.
Yeah, dude, I know.
You know, and like especially where things are so, what's the word? I don't know, convoluted, where things are just very bunched up. There's so much stimulation going on in the world, and that you can't ever pick one thing and have a passion towards it. Or I feel like there's so much shit going on because of everyone's always on their cell phone all the time. The newest and greatest thing happening every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, back then we didn't. You know, there wasn't anything like that. I mean, there was MySpace and stuff, and people were posting bulletins.
But you had to get on the computer to go to MySpace.
You had to get on the
didn't
computer.
have it on your phone yet. Yeah.
I think you could have, but it was very like minimal, you know.
And it took like 2 years to log in because everything was so slow.
Oh yeah, it was like 2G.
Yeah.
And this is like pre-Sidekick, so dude, it was.
And it was a privilege to have internet on your phone back then.
Dude,
like
100%.
your parents had to have like the most bomb plan back then to have internet on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get internet on my phone till some time. So, but goddamn, so you did the Kitchen Party Squad music video, which is just a fucking. It's basically a pop punk track, right?
It's a pop punk track that we gathered all our friends from the Portland Metro and the whole KPS squad and just packed them all in this living room. And it was basically me just orchestrating the whole video with me yelling at people over the PA to when to stop partying. You know how hard that was?
I bet that was really hard, yeah.
to tell people to stop partying, like, hey, stop and pause. We need to do this part again. And they're like, whoa, okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
No, we haven't even started yet.
Everyone's probably just fucked up.
And so, you know, people are getting KPS tattoos like
in the kitchen,
in the video.
Yeah, dude, there
was like a fight that broke out, and God.
That's fucking awesome.
It was handled by the KPS police.
Who was the chief KPS police? Who handled all the shit? And
there wasn't anybody that handled it. It was kind of just like, I think in the video it was Quentin and his brother Eugene.
Oh, dude, yeah.
The Ocean of Mirrors guys.
Yeah. Which we're actually in their old room right now. So that's crazy.
Yeah. We're in
Quentin and Eugene, yeah. Love those guys.
Those guys. but yeah, that was funny. That was a funny little clip.
Dude, fuck yeah.
I don't remember it happening, but I mean, I just was more focused on trying to like get people to be in somewhat sync with what we're doing.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
everyone is trying to party.
Yeah,
you know?
I've done that too. Yeah, where it's like, okay, we're making a music video, so like I'm partying, but I'm also like trying to control everything going on.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, you're just kind of being dad to the situation and just working around everything that's fucking happening. And it's chaos doing party videos. They're harder than what people think. But
I think just having videos with people in it.
It's orchestrating a ton of people. That's hard.
Is difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Just being able. I mean, like being in a van with 4 or 5 other guys, just trying to get everyone on the same page. Everyone is on their phones. Everyone's doing other shit.
Yeah.
It's overall hard to just get other adults on the same fucking page, especially if you try and do one thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So from KPS, and that was Siberian Nightmare Machine, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then after that, you guys probably did a fuck ton of other touring. Is that when you guys went to Europe?
No, we went to Europe after we released the 3rd album.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about now. So then you released 3, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and what was good with that record in that cycle?
So we released 3. When we released that, it was kind of a rushed record. It was honestly, I'm not super proud of it. I'm really stoked I got to work with Chris from it again.
Yeah, Chris is awesome.
But other than that, I felt like I could have done so much better musically, creatively, more direction. It was kind of rushed. We were pressed for time for the sense that we had some of our guys are dealing with some personal issues. Mm-hmm. We were pressed on going on tour. And then that was the thing about being signed is that you had certain...
You got to meet deadlines.
You had to meet deadlines in which you had to go on the road. And
you're not on your clock anymore. You're on their clock.
Right.
Yeah.
Then that got kind of frustrating, and so we were kind of pressed for time. I felt like we didn't put out the best product, but with that being said, that's just another level of experience that we got to absorb.
Exactly.
And when we absorb that experience, it just makes us that much more better, more prepared for the next time we record.
Yeah.
And so every time we record, every time that we tour, every time we do anything as a collective, as a band was... Even if it was shitty experience for whatever it was, we learned from that. We grew from that as a collective, and so it's like adding muscle to a skeleton.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be this frail, you're gonna be this bony skeleton, but then once you start going on tour, you start adding mass on. I kind of like look at things of an analogy where you start adding these little muscle mass, layers of muscle. You do your first shitty tour. You survive that one. You do your second tours, still shitty. Then you start getting your mid tours. You start adding more muscle on, in which is the sense that more people are starting to know your name, and you start hearing your name around more. Then you start getting jacked. Now you're huge. Now you're like
unstoppable,
big and
baby.
Yeah, now you got everyone knowing you are. But yeah, I mean, and all throughout that transition of getting bigger and bigger, you are understanding the fundamental principles of losing, because you're always losing when you're growing. When you're growing, you're losing in the sense that you're learning, because you're not winning from that.
So that's actually a perfect segue into my next question. So, with your whole history, it's been a long ride. You've grown up. You've seen, you grew up in this business, in this industry. You've been through so much. Is there anything you regret with what you did with American Me, or anything along the journey? Is there anything that you wish, if you could go back in time, you'd do it differently?
Totally, man.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that, because getting older, I'm 35 now.
Yeah.
I started American Me when I was right out of high school.
Yeah.
We were a local band, garage band, for a long time. I regret not being able to push the band farther back when we were younger and more in our prime.
Yeah.
I felt like some of us got caught up with girlfriends, some of us got caught up with, and I get it, being in a financial situation where you're not stable enough to sustain yourself. Sustain yourself in between tours and whatnot. And and I've seen some of the troubles and some of these conflictions, adversities through with some of our members. Past and present members.
Yeah.
Where they would get off tour, then we're like, we didn't make a whole lot of money, but yet again at the same time, it's like it was learning how to survive. You're in survival mode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so back then it was a little bit more difficult. There wasn't, I guess, a platform where you can put yourself out like Facebook, where you can be like, yo, friends, homie, I'm home from tour for like, 4 weeks, hook me up with a job, and everyone's like, yeah, you can work for me, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It was a little bit different with MySpace back in the day. I guess maybe the crowd, because the crowd was more like in a younger audience maybe, but we would struggle. I mean, we would have to go and work these staffing jobs. We would have to go work these temporary jobs, so we would just to sustain to be around, hang out until we go on to the next tour. And so, we're paying. I think towards like Siberian, we ended up living as a band. Yeah. And we ended up touring so much, so we ended up like paying our rent as a band at that point. And that was like the pinnacle of moment in our career where we were able to sustain, where like all of us were living as a band in this like 3-bedroom apartment, and the band was paying for it and paying for everything else. And that was cool, That's
pretty sick,
Yeah, but like in your early 20s, that's cool. But it's not cool now when you have like, and 35,
and I bet like as a band living in, because every band's probably like, let's get a band house. Me, I'm like, no, I don't want a fucking band house. Just being on tour together is that can be stressful enough on a relationship. I'm sure living together, it probably wasn't that sick.
Well, you understand
you're around each other 24/7, 365 days.
Like imagine having a girlfriend and then living with her, and then you have to like take her to work the next day and work with her.
Yeah, imagine having like 5 girlfriends.
You want to like maybe go home to your chick and like
have some space, not be around the same fucking people. Yeah. Did that put stresses on the relationships doing that?
On like the band relationship?
Yeah, like your inner dynamic relationships. All living together, touring together.
Yes and no. But what happened is that guys would get girlfriends in between the times of tours.
So they'd just be gone with their girlfriend.
And so shit would be, we wouldn't be as in sync of a communication level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
communication would start dwindling. And then
because everyone's off honeymooning, and
for sure. I can't do this, I can't do that because of this, but it really what it is. And that's just how it is. I mean, and it's just funny because it still happens, to this day.
But with kids and wives now.
Well, yeah. But what I'm saying, I'm seeing like people like younger bands, I can't do this tour because. Well, it's because you got a girlfriend. And that's how it is, like with jiu-jitsu too, because I train jiu-jitsu, which is a grapple.
Which I'm going to bring that up later, so don't go too deep into that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, people come and go with that. They say, I'm going to come, they train for a few months, and then they go away.
Yeah.
But anything that causes a distraction, you're going to end up getting teared away from.
Yeah.
And then come back to.
So back to the question a little bit. So you regret not pushing the band at like kind of its peak time. In what way? What do you mean? Like what kind of push?
I felt when Siberian came out, we were like at our most hype period in which we could have been doing a lot more touring, but instead we were being content with where we were at regionally. We were with the tours that we were offered. Maybe because we didn't know better, but it was. I mean. I don't regret it at the same time.
But it's something you wish you maybe did
I could have maybe, looked at things a different perspective, but I wouldn't have known to look at it in a different perspective if I, at the time, because I was younger at the time. Now that I'm older, I could see how things went differently. So, in a sense, I maybe wouldn't have regretted it back then because I wouldn't have known
exactly.
better.
So with that, like that's another reason why I wanted to interview you. You do have this whole different perspective and mindset now. So that actually goes into this next question. What's the difference between the landscape of the industry then, opposed to the landscape of the industry now with you coming back into it? What's different and how different is it?
Great question, man. That's a super good question. And man, I love how you come up with these questions like that. That's a very good, articulate question that create good conversation in which I think it's the attention span and the introduction, the platform introduction of social media. Yeah. And how social media has made people, I guess, quick to judge or quick to survey.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's got a voice instantly now.
Instantly. But it's also their patience level as well. It's very minimum. Like if you have something cool, amazing, outrageous in the first like 20 seconds of whatever you're presenting on social media, you're probably not gonna get anyone's attention.
Really?
You know, I think if you have something, I really feel like these bands that are capitalizing on stuff, and I see this trend of, is that controversial video. I feel like pictures and photos are not a thing as much as they used to be. Like everyone's doing video now with cool 3D graphics. Because
now it's the music industry is it's a content industry. Not as much as it is music. It's a content industry. We gotta always put out new content.
Well, it's also just more than just content. It's like who has the sickest art, who has the sickest presentation, who has this plethora of stuff that they can bring to the table, and which is different from the swarm of other bands that are doing the same similar thing, you know? And so, like back then, we didn't have a lot of video content back then.
Yeah,
you know?
because I bet it was hard as fuck.
It was super. You had to pay a lot of money. To get like a lyric video or a little like web, like a Instagram 30-second web media video of something promoting your album. You know, like that was. Well, things like that were very far and few between because there was not that many people doing it, and you had to pay a lot of money to do it.
Yeah, and if you like nowadays, you know, you can't go get a Sony A7S for $2,000. Back then, you know, the cameras back then, you know, technology was just not up to par, and it wasn't as accessible as it is now, where I can go rent a fucking nice ass camera and do a music video at the drop of a hat. It's all accessible to me now.
You know what's accessible is having your cell phone and having the same type of quality, film quality, as you do as a $3,000 camera, and then uploading into a computer and then making it just as sick. Yeah, you know. So I think the accessibility, I think the speed of how technology and life and culture is directing us. It's completely changed the landscape of how bands operate these days. Yeah. And you look at if you look at social media, you look at Twitter, you look at Facebook, you see that how everything is so fast paced. People are I guarantee, because I do it myself, I'm just scrolling through. I fucking
hate it, dude. I fucking
you know,
hate
it almost become. It's like robotic almost, and it doesn't really feel good.
No, I always say if I didn't have my business, if I didn't have this band, if I didn't have all these things, I wouldn't be on social media. You know? But I use it to make my living, so it's like I have to.
It seriously altered a lot of people into these random dopamine hits when they just want to feel validated in some form, so they have to have these dopamine hits. Bah, bah. Oh, here's a scroll. Oh, here's something new.
Which I'm conscious of, so I try not to do that with my social media posting.
So and that's how I feel like, going back to the question, in which I know we kind of teared off, but it was people are not looking. I feel like they look at a band these days, but they're not looking at the whole picture. They're looking at whatever they just put out in that post. Yeah. And that post for that time frame, 3 days to a week, whatever it is. And so I kind of fall. When I was releasing this new track, Messengers of Misery, I kind of followed a similar formula. You know, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to empty my whole ammo box.
No, you can't.
I'm not going to. I'm going to glorify this single, milk it, milk the hell out of it, especially having cool guest vocals on it too. Yeah. You know, for the people who don't know, American Me put out a track called Messengers of Misery. Hell yeah. It features Chad Rollig from For the Fallen Dreams and JT from this band called Era, and they're super awesome. But yeah, they, you know, and so the way that I feel like the way that Facebook is going towards, where we are able to have this song, we're able to glorify it, have some cool web media for it, some cool art, be able to present it. But I didn't want to empty my whole ammo box on this one song. You know? Yeah, and so we have a number of other songs that we're ready to release. It's all a matter of like coordinating the artwork and when we're going to do it and whatnot. And so we're just timing things. And we just released that song like the other month. And
that's how you have to do things these days. That's exactly what we do too. From the beginning, it's like, dude, you can't just like, you know. I remember when Dead Crown first started, the guys were so eager to start dropping shit, and I was just like, guys, trust me, you can't slow down. We got to take this slow, because especially after the first release, you know, there's a saying, you have your whole life to release your first record.
You really do.
But then as soon as you drop a single, the clock's ticking, baby. You're on society's time now. Yeah. And you better hurry the fuck up.
Yep, because that's just how it is now. It wasn't like that before. Well, you know what? Let me tell you what. I've heard through some older heads.
Yeah.
That's how it was back in the day. Like back in the day, like R&B artists would drop singles, like little. Like I don't know if you remember, like Warehouse Music or Sam Goody.
Yeah.
Rap artists, R&B artists would drop singles, and they would put it out in a little like CD. Do you guys remember that?
No,
those were good times.
When I started buying CDs, it was kind of when shit was kind of phasing out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So check it. There was like Camelot Music. There was like Sam Goody.
But you actually bought singles physically?
Dude, literally, there was like graphics.
That's fucking weird.
There was it was like an album graphic with like front and back, you know, a thank you list, whatever, all with a single. And it seems like it's happening again.
Yeah, but it's not sold physically.
It's not so physically, but digitally, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like the singles, they have to be milked and used towards the better good of releasing your full album. And that's just the way you got to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, because if you're going to release something shortly after that, it better be just as good as what you just released, because they're expecting the same caliber.
And in the attention span thing, you know, it's like you release a single and it's like, all right, we got 3 months until the hype train slows down. We got to put something out before we lose attention, you know, and people stop giving a fuck again. So, and it's hard. But that's where we're at too. But I mean, if you're good, you'll get the hype back and stuff, but it's just, I
think it's the quality of content that you put out. People are going to be coming back to it. If you put out good content, people are going to be coming back to it, asking for what it is. If you put out something that's half-assed, something that's whatever, you might not hear some good feedback.
Yeah.
And you might not hear anything back. That's not even good. I don't know if that's a good thing.
So what would you change about the current landscape of the industry? Like, you know, is there anything you would change about what's going on today?
The attention. If it's not so much the industry, I guess maybe it is. It's more of just I feel that the overall attention span of the people that are looking for new music, or even the people in my generation.
Yeah.
You've almost, because my generation is right in between like analog and digital.
Yeah.
We're called Xennials.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I've heard the term, between 79 to 84. I kind of wish things would slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
There's things that with one quick of a swipe, you are long forgotten.
Yeah.
With that being, and you know what? And if you think of it, think about people that have worked so hard to present this product. You know, like let's say a band's putting out a full album. Guys, we just put out this new album. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of our fan page, blah, blah. Here it is. Here's our new album. And they post it. Then you have the algorithms of Facebook where they're not even a fraction of the people are listening to it.
Yeah, it's really bad now. Yeah. So you have to pay if you want it in front of you.
Right.
But then you could spend that money really badly and can go to a bunch of kids off in fucking some random country in Mexico who don't even fuck with your band. If you don't do it right.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to explain, because you either put everything into this album, this collective in which like the culture of society knows or expects from a band. They put out albums, they put out EPs.
Yeah.
And then once they put it out, then it's long forgotten. It's not even long forgotten, but it's more like, kids will be into it for a day or two, blah, blah, maybe a few weeks, go back to it. But then the overall stimulation, the moment of stimulation is gone. The moment of awe is gone.
Yeah, and the moment, and
opposed to back in the day where
you got an album, you had to listen to it.
We got you would see it in Revolve, or you would see it in Hit Parade or magazine, where it's like, this new album's coming out this day, and they would continue to promote it. Out in November.
Because you had to go out and buy physical CDs.
Yes, exactly. So it made you go out and take an effort into acquiring something that you were seeking, like a CD or an artist.
Yeah.
Opposed to being like, oh, it's right here in front of me. Awesome. For 30 seconds, scroll through.
And then when you listened to music back then, it was still a physical thing. So if you wanted to listen to a band, you had to put in the whole CD and listen to the whole fucking CD. And you couldn't just pull up singles. And,
with that little extra effort of grabbing like the CD makes the music the band more valuable.
Dude, yeah.
You know, and that's where I feel like things have changed. Things don't have as much as substance.
Yeah, for real. So then I love talking about this, like how things have kind of changed and stuff. So another one for you, what's the difference? Because I know you used to promote shows. You were Tony Mosh Presents, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah. So what is the difference between the music scene overall, I guess on the ground level, even if that's just locally, you can just talk about it there, or just nationally, just like the overall music scene and metal scene? What is the difference from then to now? Because I know that's changed a lot.
Well, I would say in the small scale of things are not as intimate as they were back then. Things you would just go off of, hey, I have the Warriors coming through with Calico System and whatever it was. I booked a show once a long time ago with those bands. It didn't do very well at all. Yeah, it didn't do very well, and this was years and years, and this is like over 10 years ago. Yeah. And a part of that is it's not the band's fault, it's not the promoter's fault. It's just that the fact that we're in an underground scene at the time where it was hard to collectively get people to come to a show because we didn't have Facebook invites or whatnot. All we had was paper flyers to promote shows.
Yeah, but back then, was it also a thing where, because there wasn't the internet and all this stuff, and there wasn't just an excess of things to get together and do with your friends and shit, like people were like, oh, if I want to go hang out and be social, I got to go to these shows. Because that's all they knew about.
Yes,
to an extent.
Yes, I mean, I feel like for more of the younger crowd, that was something, but for the crowd that was more, yes and no. Mm-hmm. There was people that want to go to the shows because they liked the band, but there was also people that wanted to go to the shows because they knew that their friends were going to be there. And that's acceptable. And that's okay.
And that's also where you found new music, correct? Because the internet wasn't like, I'm going to go check out some live bands. I might see something I like.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there's tons of bands that I've discovered just from booking bands. Yeah. And I never even heard of, like this band called As Cities Burn. Like I booked them years ago, dude. Like number of times.
That's a name.
I booked them with. Oh my God! I wish Cam was here so he could help me with some of these names. This band called.
But it was before.
Anyways, it was way before
they were what they are now.
Yes. Yeah. I think it was like May and Copeland. Yeah, it was, dude. This was like years and years before those bands even blew up. And those are huge bands now. Tooth and Nail bands, I believe they were at the time.
Oh, dude, yeah. And I remember when I was in high school, the dudes I was in a band with, they were like, dude, As Cities Burn is like one of our biggest influences. Yeah, well, like they were doing the rounds.
I still have this fucking awesome demo of them that they gave to me personally. It was this demo, and it was like 3 songs. They put it on their first release, Son, I Love You at Your Darkest. Yeah. I hold this demo so close to me. Like I have...
Dude, because that's probably worth fucking money now.
I don't even think of it as money. I think of it as something as a chapter in this book of life that I experienced that was... just a part in the chapter that was really a really good read. You know what I'm saying? This is a really cool part here. I'm really glad I got to like take this because I love that band. I wish they were just here in Portland too. The original lineup.
But that's
I didn't
sick.
get to see them. But anyways, I mean things like that. I was able to. I love to see shit that's like that wasn't forming at the time, but now it's formed and like become its own.
And
it becomes its own thing now.
And history too.
Dude, like just
become history.
Watching Attila, like shout out to Franz real quick. Even though Franz, if you're listening to this, you remember the time we were kicking it in fucking buttfuck Nebraska.
Oh God.
And we were eating Burger King. Thinking about, I cannot believe we are in the middle of Nebraska eating Burger King on tour right now at 6 a.m. It was like in the morning. It was like we're eating like croissant sandwiches.
Yeah. And also for everyone listening, this is before Franz was famous and rich, and this was when Attila was just like one of their first tours, right?
It was their very first national tour. Them and Chelsea Grin. And this is back when they were on this label called Static Factory.
Yeah.
And
So this is like OG Attila.
Oh, dude, this is OG,
Attila.
you know,
Yeah.
and that's every time I see Attila, I see Franz or Chris, even Kalen. But I've known Kalen. I've known Kalen back before he was in Attila. He was in this band called We Were Gentlemen.
Oh, he was also in For the Fallen Dreams for a couple
but I've known him way before that.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I love Kalen. That dude's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
I love all those
Kalen-
guys. They're awesome.
Kalen, if you're listening to this, you need to. What's the term that you told me in Vegas was?
Oh God.
Oh my God! It was respect the queue. Respect the queue. That means that if you have Spotify on,
Yeah.
and you change it, you're an asshole. If someone is listening to shit,
Respect the
you need to
queue.
respect the queue.
Yeah. So you can't just come in and be an asshole.
Yeah,
Let the queue play out.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
out training I was out doing this competition out in Vegas in jiu-jitsu. I do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
blah, blah.
okay. So we've met up with them in Arizona, and then we were driving through, and then that's when we ran into you in
right.
Vegas.
That's
the
right.
night before you were with them, and then 2 nights before that
That's
we
right.
were in Arizona with
Yes,
Attila.
I
Yeah.
remember. That was dude. That
was crazy.
What a great time.
I know, right?
What a great time.
Just all the homies just
I
running
know,
into each
all
other.
in one spot.
It was sick.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, I learned the term respect the queue. I was trying
Respect
to
the queue,
I was
dude.
trying to change the song, and Kalen's like,
Yo,
respect the queue, man. Okay, so now like I tell people we're trying to change my shit in the car or whatever.
Respect the queue. Hell yeah. That's sick. Thank you for that, Kalen. That's fucking awesome. So yeah, fuck yeah. So I guess just the last thing I want to ask you about this topic is, so also what's the difference between you being a frontman, you know, back then you're playing a show, you're looking out at the crowd, what you saw then compared to what you see now? What's changed? What was it? You know, what were the
Our crowd has gotten a lot older, and they're like as old as I am, and it's hard for them to mosh because they get real stiff. No. It's
They need to
what's
stretch
cool.
out a little
What's
bit.
cool is that we get to see a lot of these people that came to our shows as people that were younger. They just grew up. They grow up, and so it's one of those things where I've noticed that all of our fan base has grown to being 21 and up, and it's just cool.
Yeah,
you know?
it is cool.
They get to let loose. They get to watch a band they saw in their adolescence, and then they get to enjoy a heavy show. So
And that's sick. Fuck yeah. So let me see. Sorry,
I'm taking over this interview, Kendall.
yeah,
Here we go. Kendall, let me tell you something.
All right, so the next one I got, just because me and Blake, we're kind of like OG metalcore kids. So like I remember, well, we can talk about like OG metalcore, Attack, self-titled, basically just like Risecore in its peak. That's that's like our fucking roots, you know, Prada, Romans, like that whole era that Rise kind of made.
That's your age bracket.
Yeah, that's like so. So with that, I know you're really close with Craig, and you've been friends with him, and you got to see this kind of like, I don't care what anyone says, Rise Records is kind of like fucking historic. They did so much for this.
Massive.
So with you in your relationship with Craig and seeing that whole thing, what was it like? Because you knew him from the beginning when, you know, what was it like seeing from the outside looking
the progression?
in? Yeah, dude.
So when he says Craig, he's referring to Craig Erickson from he owned Rise Records.
Which I want to get Craig on the show.
Yes. Craig, if you're listening, I know you're chilling. We're going to get you on the show.
All right. Yeah, Craig, please come on. I would love to talk with that guy.
He'll love it, dude. So it, I mean, you know what, man?
Yeah.
It's to see the progression from where he was at, from having like a band like Prada.
Yeah.
Let's say Prada, when they put out their first record, or Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's a trip, dude, to see it.
Yeah.
To see it from a very minuscule little perspective.
Yeah.
To watching him keep hitting at the nail head, just attacking, and going towards this little focal point of achieving success from these bands that he felt in his own heart that he was gonna find success with, and he knew that they had potential.
Yeah.
Look where they're at now.
Dude, they're huge.
but the bands have come and gone, obviously, at the time.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, in the other, that's just speaking in the relevance of the bands that he's produced as well that are cracking now. Even though he sold the company a while back.
Yeah, I bet that was insane. Like being his friend and stuff. Like just, like what was it like when he made his first like huge milestone? Was it just?
It was things were. I mean,
or was it just so fast that it was just like one day it was like, this is Craig from Rise, and Rise is this huge thing now. They're just a powerhouse.
It was more. Yeah, it was more of just a very slow transitional thing of being able to absorb and be able to, I guess, absorb the whole experience of watching a label being grown. Watching a band being. How do I say this? Like to grow a band and then have a label grow at the same time, especially for the time frame that it was back and then over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to build a band and build a label.
Yeah.
And so he's building all these bands and stuff, and just so it felt good to know that we were part of the growing factor.
Exactly.
To be a part of this. And I knew it was going to be something.
Yeah.
I knew it because he kept having the driving factor of always wanting to go to the next step.
Yeah.
The next level. Where else can I go from here? I'm gonna. He's such a. I learned a lot from that man.
Yeah,
I learned a lot, not about financial, but just life and overall just wisdom.
Yeah.
And so he's a big milestone in my life where I'm able to incorporate a lot of these things that I'm able to reflect on bands that I want to help and that I love and that I care about. Like, dude, I love Dead Crown. I love you guys, dude.
We love you too, dog.
I love to see these younger bands that are doing it, man. And I mean, especially when it's like guys like yourself, where you guys are young, you guys are hungry, watching Brighton grow when he was this little 16-year-old kid. Like now he's playing. Now he's a phenomenal drummer. You look at him in the caliber in a way that's like a professional way. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's almost having like little brothers watching grow up and then being like a guiding factor and kind of like an asshole brother at the same time, where if I don't like something, I'm going to yell at you or I'll text you, yo, Kendall. It's nice, dude. And it's fun. And I think, and I also know that once you guys get to the age as well of where I'm at, like you guys can do the same thing for bands that are coming up.
Oh, dude,
so it's a beautiful thing,
dude.
Really,
that's
really is, man.
Yeah, I had to bring Craig into it because I know, like, I went to a couple of his parties one time at his place, and I remember hearing him talk about, like, there was drinks going around, everyone was drunk, and some people started putting on like really old OG Rise bands. And Craig just kind of started going off about some stuff. And
it's
he was
very
like,
sentimental to his.
I know, and if I could be wrong, this is why I want to have him on the show. I want to know the fucking history of Rise and just go over all this shit with him because he has a fascinating story. But I remember him saying something about. He was like, "Yeah, dude, it originally started in Roseburg, Oregon, with a loan, a $600 loan from my grandpa." And I was like, "Damn."
Yeah,
that's
his story's fucking crazy because he was working a regular job like anyone else, and he just set aside. He ended up getting a little bit of money, not much. He saved his own money.
Fucking bucks.
He was able to invest what he had, what he was able to get into building a fucking empire.
Yeah, and that's what it is now.
It's
a fucking
out of
empire.
love, and what I love about the man is that he's constantly, always wanting to love new things. He loves new. Awesome things that are presented to him,
and you heard that through their come up, Craig, and I've heard this from other people before. Not to diss anything going on currently, but people have always said, Craig just has an ear for things that are coming up, and he has a love and a passion for discovering those things, and no one did it better.
And I feel like he emphasizes that love and passion when he discovers something, and he really sticks to it. And that's how something.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
I relate to myself when if I discover something, I'm really passionate about it. Like this band called Fire from the Gods. I love that. I love Fire from the Gods. I had a friend over who was tour managing the band. Brought him over to Craig's house. I'm like, dude, Craig, meet this dude who's TMing this band. This band is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Let's check him out. And sure enough, listen to him. stoked on them. Next thing you know it, now they're fucking signed.
Yeah.
Now they're fucking on tour with like Five Finger Death Punch and fucking
over 1 million views.
Third
3-Day
Grace, like touring on Seven Dust.
Yeah.
Some of the best dudes who deserve all the best of success. Same thing. I've done a lot of A&R for these other bands.
Yeah.
In which I don't like to take, I guess, credit for. Which
I'm
not known for, but I'll just let it be known. I mean, Those Lie Beneath are an early rise band. Good friends of mine. Got those guys signed. For the Fallen Dreams.
Hell yeah.
Great band. Good friends of mine. Got those guys signed back when we played a garage with them in fucking Saginaw, Michigan.
I love For the Fallen Dreams. They were one of my early bands that like really got me into this shit too.
Fuck yeah, dude. And and they got a lot of people. I flew Chad out here a few months ago and got him a guest appearance on that song.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And so I brought him to your show.
Yeah, I know. I remember we just got done playing.
We came in fashionably late.
Yeah, fashionably late. We just got done playing.
We literally just got out of the studio. We're like, all right, we'll show up to the
dude,
show.
Dude, you know what's funny about that? Like, a bunch of people came up to me and they're like, dude, Chad Rolu's at your fucking show. And I was like, oh, it's because Tony's here. Like, I knew he was in town with you. And I was just like, what's up, Tony? But everyone was tripping out. And I was like, dude, it's just Tony and Chad. Like, it's fine.
Okay.
It's okay. It's one of Tony's really good friends. You know, he's just out kicking. Like, and I just got done playing, running this whole event. I'm running. Like, no, we're just gonna kick it.
You know, and the one thing that I am regretting, Kendall, I'll tell you this now. I'm sorry for not getting there earlier to your show.
Oh, dude, it's all good.
I would totally have went.
I know,
but we were in this.
But dude,
but you know what? It's super cool. Like, we were able to go there.
Yeah.
I want to be. I need a support.
Well, dude, and just the fact that you showed up is a lot because I know you're a busy guy and. You know, also, it wouldn't be Tony Tataje fashion if you didn't show up fashionably late. It just wouldn't be you, you know?
But you know what? If I support you, I support you.
Exactly. The fact that you just even show up late means that, like, you're riding. So it's all good.
Oh, man.
So next thing. So I know jiu-jitsu is something that is huge in your life.
Massive.
So real quick, how did you get into that? And how long ago was that?
I got into that maybe 8-9 years ago. I had this girlfriend at the time who wouldn't let me do it, and so and it was actually these apartments that were nearby here, Bongo Fury.
Was it Impact? Is that where you started?
It was Impact.
Yep. Impact, yeah.
And she would say no, like, you can't go there. I just because she was from Texas, she didn't want me to like.
She didn't want you to fight or anything, get hurt.
And so I was like, okay, I get it, you know. But then I would I would walk past it, go to the 24-hour fitness. She would let me go there, but she wouldn't, and so. But I only go there for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go in one day. I'm going to go in and just say that I was at the gym, but I'm going to go and try this fucking place out. I go in there. I slam some dude and I get yelled at.
Jesus.
And it's like, you don't slam people in jiu-jitsu. I was like, oh.
This isn't pro wrestling?
I don't know. I like UFC and stuff.
Oh, God. I bet they were just like,
they're
this
like,
fucking
great,
kid,
this
dude.
fucking guy.
God damn. But yeah, so you get into jiu-jitsu, and it's been a huge thing for you. And huge. I know it's done a lot for your life. What has it done? How has jiu-jitsu impacted you?
Oh, dude. It's impacted me. God, there's not even enough time for this episode for me to explain everything, but it's one of it's
I know it's a big thing for you.
It's impacted me in such a way that, I mean, I feel I have a new calibration in my life.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a purpose. I feel that I'm centered. I have discipline. Not say I'm fully disciplined, but I feel like I have more sense of direction, more sense of communication, a lot of mental, emotional skills that you develop, not just physical.
Yeah.
Because you build this camaraderie with a group of people that you see all the time. You end up doing a physical activity with them that you normally don't do with the normal person that you might see like on a 9-to-5 job. But when you interact with somebody in such a physical way, you build a relationship with them that's not your normal relationship.
Yeah.
You build when you start sweating together, when you guys start exerting energy, exerting effort, realizing that you're doing the best you can with this other person, when it becomes drilling a technique to learn a move, you build something from that. You build something that's very emotionally, almost spiritually connective.
Yeah. Well, and also just like from hearing you talk about it, like even just like, you know, because when you're sparring and doing stuff like that, you know, if someone locks you in a submission, most people would just be like, oh, they're not gonna fucking get me. They're not gonna fucking get me. But
Yeah,
it's putting the pride and ego and thinking ahead and just tapping. Okay, let's go again. Let's learn.
Exactly.
Let's learn.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kendall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Yes. And there's a lot of that comes into the gyms, in which you see a lot of ego come in, where it's like, I need a win. But the people that come in for the long haul don't realize that it's about the journey, and the journey is a long one. It's as long as being a doctor.
And you've been doing it for like 8 years. And where are you at right now?
I'm a 4-stripe blue belt, almost to my purple belt, and then it's a brown belt, and then it's a black belt. So
damn,
purple belt, brown, then black. I'm very fortunate, very privileged to be in the skill level where I'm at right now. I got to learn from some great people.
And I've met your jiu-jitsu buddies too, and they're awesome people. Dude.
Awesome, great,
great people.
Humble people, people that, like one of my dearest friends is he's a chiropractor. His name is Zach. He he knows nothing about my music, knows nothing about my history, knows nothing about my passion or who the people I interact with on a daily. But what brought us together was jiu-jitsu and be able to grapple with each other, and then being able to we both have kids. Yeah. So we're able to come together in that sense of things. And so the camaraderie is so tight and so strong because of jiu-jitsu, is that you build really good, strong friendships. And I'm really fortunate of that. Yeah.
And one thing, when I first met some of your jiu-jitsu buddies, everyone would think like, oh, jiu-jitsu, like, oh, it's probably just going to be some meathead motherfuckers, who will be like, oh, fuck that dude up. Yep. Complete opposite. They're the people that are like, no, we don't want to fight unless we have to. Yep. And they're just the most leveled, grounded people, humble. And I was just like, that's when I started like looking at jiu-jitsu in a whole different way. And I was like, this isn't MMA.
The guy that so the dude that you met at the hotel room
in
Vegas.
Yeah, that's a chiropractor guy.
My chiropractor homie, Zach Halcrum. He's one of the best dudes. Love the dude. Very dearly. He's such a god, man. Like, he's a straight chiropractor doctor dude. I'm this band dude, rambunctious guy.
Dude, yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, all you guys have different occupations, but you guys are all just have that
We're
common.
all the same when it comes down to being on the mats.
Yeah, and then coming down to some certain personalities traits, particularly in stress. And in high pressure situations, and you guys are so grounded.
Yeah, well, you're able to translate a lot of these like little mini battles.
Yeah.
When you are, let's say, when you are in competition and you're or even in training, you're in sparring mode, getting ready for competition. You're in these dangerous positions where you're about to get choked out, your arm's about to get broke, or you're in a vulnerable position. You translate a lot of those situations into real life situations, and then you can correlate those life situations into what you were, because things are not as bad as being nearly crushed half to death by someone that's trying to kill you, opposed to dealing with this guy that's like,
life's a lot better if you just take the tap and you learn from it.
Yes, I love it, Kendall. Kendall, that's it. I'm getting you in jiu-jitsu. You're going to do it, dude. You're getting it.
All right,
I'm forcing this guy.
Let's do it.
He's gonna be under me once I get my black belt.
Hell yeah! So, and I know you're super passionate about this, so that's why I want to talk about what are the number one and number two things that you have taken away from jiu-jitsu that have really bettered your life, and really like things that you fucking live by that only you got from jiu-jitsu. Like the number one or two things.
Being able to slow things down.
Okay. What do you mean? Like mentally or?
Yes. Yeah. Mentally and like in a perspective fashion where I'm able to slow life down.
Okay.
Especially in a world where we're full of stimulation.
Yep. Everything moves fast.
Everything is moving fast.
If you want a quick dopamine rush, you can get it, but it's not the best rush.
Yes, dude. No. Yeah. We all seek this dopamine rush in the society that we live in now. But being able to control, be able to step outside the box for a second and be able to be in a perspective where, you know what, I don't need to be caught up in this chain of coming back to my phone, coming back to what I need, coming back to my norm. You can just step in jiu-jitsu. When you step on the mat, let's say you leave class, I always feel this sense of rejuvenation. I feel this sense of, I feel that I have a different perspective on my life during that day. Yeah. Because every day I am learning something, or I'm either digressing on something. And I choose not to digress. I choose always to progress and then look back on what I progressed on, and I'm able to learn from that. Yeah. And so in jiu-jitsu, you're able to correlate a lot of those things where you learn something from jiu-jitsu and then you see it's very difficult to learn, very difficult to do. Then you end up getting better at it at the end of the class per se. Now you go home, you sleep on it, you brew on it. Yeah. Not only are you able to configure things so much better and put things together, but your life, things that you thought were very problematic are easier to put together. Yeah. Because something as hard as jiu-jitsu is in its place. And you're like, oh, if I could put that together in a more of a simpler fashion, I'm able to put life in an easier perspective.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. So what and with that, you know, real quick, so like slowing down mentally. So like because I kind of know, I don't know, but like I've this is something I pride myself in, being able to not go fight or flight. And a lot of people, when they're faced with stresses or hardships or difficult situations, they'll instantly be like, think of the one quick, easy fix. What's the thing I need to do to survive right now?
It's fight or flight. And, you know, that's very natural for people. It's
very natural.
Very natural
but
for
being
people.
able to, like you said, slow down.
Things down.
Step back and be like, all right, well, I can do
How
this
am I
right
going to
now.
assess this situation? What am I going to do?
And what's not just best right now, what's best long term.
Yes, dude. And you're not thinking at the moment and acting reactionary.
Exactly.
Because reacting reactionary is only going to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
And you're not just trouble just like law-wise, but trouble as in like, I mean, I don't want to go home with missing teeth if I get into a fight or something, you know? I don't want to.
Exactly.
It's not just that, but it's like, I don't want to go to jail, blah, blah, blah. It's more of just having this like ammo box in your back of your pocket, knowing that you can pull it out at any time.
Yeah. So then what's the second thing, the second most important thing you've been able to take away from jiu-jitsu?
Being able to understand people's levels of, I guess, acceptance and exertion of what their body is capable of.
Yeah.
I've learned to slow things down, even with my family too. Like I'm learning just to slow life downs where my like, let's say like my friends or my family, they're not as maybe quick as reactionary speed as I am because of my jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And so I can take that as in when I meet new people, yes, we're not going to be the same, but we're all always learning and evolving. And there's always going to be this period of time that it takes a while to be able to get to where you need to be. I'm very fortunate to be, I was in a position where I did a lot of private classes. I did a lot of like private sessions. I did a lot of intimate time with one-on-ones with black belts, high-level black belts. I got to absorb a lot of critical, important information, and that excelled my progress with my skill level. Yeah. And so to see people that are green to the sport and come in, I give them so much props. It's so difficult. It is so difficult, the courage that you have to you have to deliver, because it's not just physical, because you know, like
mental.
It's mental because you know it's an ego thing too. Yeah. Ego captures a lot of people, and ego is like, I don't want these people to laugh at me.
Well, yeah, and
I don't want these people to see me that I'm weak.
And it's not an instant thing when you sign up, and if you want to start jiu-jitsu and finish jiu-jitsu, like you said, it takes longer than being a doctor, right?
Dude, just as long, if not longer.
Dude, yeah, like that's a huge commitment. If you want to actually see the finish of it.
You want to see the results, even like throughout, but even like when you're a doctor. Yeah. Even when you're a doctor, you're going to see progressions all throughout your tenure of learning how to be a doctor. Yeah. So, you know, just like with jiu-jitsu, you're going to be white belt, blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, black belt. You see the progression. You get better. And that's the beauty of it too, because knowing that you're getting better and better, it makes you more confident, and it makes you want to seek the level of being a black belt. And then once you become a black belt, then there's different levels of being a black belt. Yeah. Guys that have been black belts for like 10 plus years.
Yeah, for real.
And so you start over again, you know? And so, it's what I take out of that is that with jiu-jitsu, I correlate it back to band life and just life. Because you're always going to go back. You reach a certain pinnacle. Yeah. You're going to go back and see how you can get better.
Fuck yeah. Well, hey, Blake, do you got any closing questions?
Not really a question, but just basically I just wanted to say this has been awesome for me because when I was in high school, sophomore, I was on Kingdom Leaks looking up new music, and I found American Me through that.
Really?
So
yeah.
No way.
And I've actually been like a long time fan.
Oh, wow.
And I've seen
Hell
you guys
yeah.
play at like the Branks and stuff like that.
Oh my God, many
this
years
has
ago.
been awesome for me personally to hear you talk about, you know, your whole story, and just thanks for coming out and hanging out with
Yeah,
us and
dude,
doing
fuck
this.
yeah.
Blake, pleasure.
Yeah.
This
So
great.
is there just closing it down, anything to plug? Where can people find American Me? If you want to plug your gyms, let's fucking just go away, dude.
So I'm gonna give a quick little bit of advice for
Yeah.
bands that are coming
Okay,
up and
yeah.
doing things.
Go
How
for
about
it. Go
that
for
one?
it. Go for it. Go for it, dude. Love it.
You are going to fail 1,000 times.
Yes, you will.
1,000 times. Not if even more. Maybe less, a few less, but you're gonna fail just as much. And you're gonna find a little bit of success from that. And the success that you find is not from every time you fail. It's from every time. I know this is a stupid ass quote, and
It's all good.
is you're going to add a layer of your skeleton muscle to your skeleton, and you're going to get better from every failure. Every failure is an acknowledgement of where you've been and where your experience was.
Yeah.
So
Take the tap and learn from it, dog.
You take the tap.
Yep.
And from that tap,
Let it humble you.
you let it humble you. Yes, you learn from that tap because you will know what not to do the next time around.
100%.
And you will, even if people tell you don't do this route, don't do this, don't go this way, you're going to eat shit. You're going to eat shit. You're going to think people are painting a shitty picture of yourselves. But it's not the case. Because you know what? Any bad publicity is good publicity because people are taking notice.
Yeah.
You're going to fall. You're going to eat shit. You're going to sleep in Walmart parking lots.
Yep.
You're just lucky you don't have fucking GPS where you had to print shit on paper.
Oh, yeah. Back in your day, you had to MapQuest.
You got to
all the
MapQuest
directions,
everything,
huh?
print everything out.
Yeah,
Now you guys
fuck.
have a fucking cell phone. Or
Yeah.
not even that. And you guys have like satellite GPS now.
Dude, yeah, it's easy as fuck now. And we have Planet Fitness, so we could shower every day.
Dude, we didn't even have that.
I know. Dude, that I talk about all the time on this
Oh my
podcast. And like
gosh.
Dead Crown, we got 2 people with Planet Fitness Black Card memberships. It's only $21 a month. We get to shower every fucking
Planet
day
Fitness,
on tour.
sponsor this shit.
Dude, fuck yeah. Yeah. But hell yeah. Where can people find American Me?
American Me, you can find our music on Facebook, / American Me Band, and then American Me Band on Twitter, /
Yeah.
and then we're on Spotify. You type in American
All
Me
that
and
shit. You
get
guys
all
are
the
on all
good
that
stuff.
shit. What gyms you work out at? What are your jiu-jitsu gyms? Who are your trainers that you want to give a shout out to?
I want to give a shout out to a few gyms. Some I train at still, some I don't. Because of travel and I like to train at different places. But I want to give a quick shout out to Impact Jiu-Jitsu here in Beaverton.
Fuck yeah.
The Base Vancouver, BMA out in Battleground, Washington, and Clark Gracie Jiu-Jitsu out in San Diego. Those are some of my homies. If you ever want to learn any form of self-defense, or you want to better yourself or your mood or your protect your family or anything, I would recommend.
If you want to get your
jiu-jitsu.
ass tapped out by Tony Tataje of American Me, go to this gym and get fucking catch it, bro.
It's fun.
I know,
Just go and live it.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah. Thank you so much, Tony. Thanks for making time to come and chat with us. This has been fucking awesome, dude. Thank you so much.
Hey, no problem.
All right. Well, this has been Bottom of the Bottle. I'm Kendall.
I'm Blake.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.
Woo.